is Nell, and I will discuss the research problem, research question or hypothesis in a PhD dissertation or master's degree thesis in this video. Don't formulate your research problem or research question or hypothesis to impress people. Decide what the purpose of your research is and base your research question, research problem or hypothesis on that. A good research question, problem or hypothesis defines the focus of your research project, and the focus should be aimed at achieving the purpose of your research. The postgraduate committee will use your research problem, question or hypothesis to judge if your proposed research topic meets the requirements for the project. You will need to narrow your research problem, question or hypothesis down to a project that you will be able to cope with, bearing in mind how much time and funds you have available for your research. Also keep in mind that research should always be the foundation for further research. Let's refine and simplify an example of a research problem until we reach the point where it meets the requirements for viable research on doctoral or master's degree level. Here is the first example formulated as a research question. What is the effect of global warming on social interaction? A research question like this creates more questions than it solves. It is vague, and the effect of global warming on social interaction can be a multitude of things. For example, relationships in the classroom, at home, between couples, between friends, clients versus salespeople, etc. The effect of global warming on different continents, on different countries, different cultures, different seasons, etc. will not be the same. Readers of your thesis or dissertation will probably ask what is meant by social interaction. Clearly, you will need to explain and define your research question. However, even then it will be almost impossible to conclude generally applicable findings that will apply to the entire world and all the seasons of the year. Here is a second refinement of the research question. What is the effect of global warming on the social interaction of people who work in metropolitan areas? The research question already hints on economic value. It is limited to a specific living area, and it would probably be possible to choose a representative sample for the research. You should be careful of not formulating your research question in such a way that it renders your research subjective and biased. For example, if you were to ask, will global warming cause people working in metropolitan areas to lose interest in social interaction? You might create the impression that you are of the opinion that global warming will cause people working in metropolitan areas to lose interest in social interaction. It might still be a viable problem to investigate, though. You can also reformulate your problem statement or question as a hypothesis, especially as the answer to your question can be either yes or no. You might even be able to statistically prove that your hypothesis is valid or not. Here you would probably use quantitative research and a technicist paradigmatic approach. You can avoid the dichotomous nature of this last example by formulating it as follows. What is the impact of global warming on social interaction between people working in metropolitan areas? The answer to this question cannot be just yes or no or true or false. Regardless of how you formulate your research question, problem or hypothesis, you will still need to describe the context for your research. The scope of your research can help you to know where to go, what to investigate, and when to stop with your research. Your research question, problem, or hypothesis is not final as long as you did not submit your final thesis or dissertation. Therefore, you can still change it. However, it will become increasingly more difficult and riskier to change your research question, problem, or hypothesis the longer you wait. In summary, your research question, problem, or hypothesis gives you a good indication of what kind of data you need to collect and which methods you will need to use to access and analyze your sources. A well-articulated research question, problem, or hypothesis provides you, your study leader, and any other readers of your dissertation or thesis with valuable information about your research. You need to explain the focus, purpose, scope, and motivation for your research. You also need to motivate your research question, problem, or hypothesis clearly and objectively. The rationale for your research question, problem, or hypothesis can serve as evidence that your research project is viable. You can change your research problem, question, or hypothesis anytime while you are doing your research. However, the longer you wait, the more incorrect data will you collect, and the more time will you waste doing unnecessary work. I guess that is enough for now. I will discuss many other facets of research questions, problems, and hypotheses in future videos. You are welcome to send me your questions on research methodology. I will either reply by email or post an additional video to answer your question. Perhaps even both. Enjoy your studies. Stay healthy. Thank you.